So this whole concept of tantric sex, or sex for that matter, comes in at the level of Vamachara Tantra, where it's, as I mentioned, there is a level that's called the Vamachara, which is the left hand path. In left hand path, you start offering meat, you offer alcohol, you offer fish, you offer mudra, and you offer sex.
And this is at a very high level of Tantra.
High level of
After
Tantra.
you've done a lot of the lower level
Practices,
stuff.
yes. So more, in fact, it is to say that to pick out sex out of these 5 things, we call this technically the Panchamakara, 5 M's. Okay. So to pick out just one aspect out of it, and then to believe that this is going to improve your sex life, etc., is equivalent to saying that, okay, I just take out that meat offering part of it, and perhaps that's a way to increase protein intake in my body. So that would be that ridiculous. So the aim, that's what I said, the aim of the process, of the whole process of everything that is done in Tantra is worship of the deity. It has to be very clear and firm in your mind. So long as something is helping you in worship of the deity, and it is within the permitted rules of Tantric Upasana, we call it, the practice, it is allowed for you. Okay. But the aim has to be clear, that it is for the worship of the deity. It is not for pleasure. It is not for any other kind of indulgence. It is not going to make you a Superman or anything of that sort. Okay. So having said that, sex is also one of the things that can be offered to the deities, but there is a process to it. It is not normal sex, and it requires certain amount of preparation of mantra upasana, which means the chanting of mantras of the deity. And chanting of mantras not just one, twice. So Tantra looks at it this way. You have an Ishta deity, Ishta Devata, a god you are worshipping, the form of the mother that you are worshipping, and you may have to chant lakhs of mantras of that deity. Not even 1-2 lakhs. Some texts will tell you 5, 10, 15, 20 lakhs of the mantra.
A lakh is 100,000.
100,000. Yeah. Of the mantra that you have obtained from a legitimate guru through a tantric initiation. Okay. Now suppose, so Tantra was never originally a path of the sannyasis. Though various sannyasi sects later on adopted Tantra because it is very powerful, its techniques are powerful, it adopted those parts which did not violate with their sannyasi code, which means that they did not take these aspects of Tantra. They took the right hand path, which is called the Dakshinachara. That is also Tantra. So Tantra's idea, fundamental idea was that the things that make you fall in normal religion, whether it's meat, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sex, etc., which is the standard idea, is that these will make you fall. So let us divinize those processes so that they become the means through which you can attain to the divine. Okay. And in this, one of the most legendary tantric acharyas, in fact, he is almost is beyond an acharya. He's one of the greatest Nath yogis. He was known as Matsyendra Nath. He used to live in Kamakhya. Okay, and he was born somewhere in Bengal, and he practiced his Tantra Sadhana Upasana in Kamakhya, and he composed a lot of text on these aspects of Tantra, Yogini Sadhana and Bhairavi Sadhana, etc. So the partners have to be, first of all, initiated into the process. Both. It cannot be one person. Both. So
by a guru?
By a guru, definitely.
By the same guru?
It can, ideally it's the same guru. Okay, ideally if it's the same guru, in fact, the guru not only does initiate, but he also ensures if it's a husband-wife partner, etc. So they will initiate that it is the same form of the deity that is given to them.
This is also where we should mention a word of caution, because this is where a lot of people might misuse their position of spiritual power.
Yes, that's there. That's another aspect. Yes.
Do you want to shed some light on that?
But first, let's complete this thought process.
Sure.
So guru initiates both the partners. In any case, both the partners must have the tantric initiation. Okay, that is mandatory. Number 2, they must be doing their mantra sadhana properly, which is the mantra japa of the devata, deity. That is like doing a seva to the seva, means a service to the deity. And the deity, by the way, in once you go higher into tantra sadhana, it is the average conception of the deity that we look at is the vigraha, the murti in temples. Wonderful, that is there. That's for the public. But for you, the mantra is the deity. For an individual who is into the tantric path, the mantra that is given to you, okay, whatever is the mantra, that mantra is the deity. It is like the subtle body of the deity. As we were talking about subtle body and physical body. So the mantra is the subtle body of the deity.
Astral body.
Astral body, sort of that. And when you are chanting that mantra, you are trying to connect to the subtle body of the deity. Now, fundamentally, what this process entails is that when both of these partners It doesn't just happen, it's not like something that you just go ahead and have sex. No, there's a puja that has to be done specifically. There are mantra japas that has to be done. And then there are certain mudras, certain manners in which they have to sit, in certain postures, etc. And during the course of having sex, they have to keep chanting the mantra of the deity. And that mantra japa is not, it's not a 1 minute thing, it's not a 2 minute thing. Sometimes texts will recommend that you have to chant a mantra which is so long that may take you 30 minutes, 35 minutes. How do you last for so long? Till the mantra japa is complete, there cannot be a release, there cannot be an orgasm. In order to do that, there were techniques that were added so that you can hold back the orgasm, both specifically for the male, while you are continuing the mantra japa. So the primary aim is, if you're not doing the mantra japa and if you're just having sex and practicing those techniques, it is useless. It has got nothing to do with Tantra Sadhana. Whatever else you are doing, that is not Tantra Sadhana.